Well, good morning, participants.
Good morning.
Today we are going to do time value of money. Time value of money. What is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this time value of money? Okay. Now we are in 2021. Last year, 2020, 2019, and then next year, 2022, 2023. Like that, this goes on. Yes. Now, if we take 100 rupee note, see, yeah, of course, the various things are printed. It says 100 rupees. So today, if you see, it is 100 rupees. Last year also, when you look at the note, it is 100 rupees. Before that also, it is 100 rupees. Next year also, it will be 100 rupees. In future years also, that note, it is 100 rupees. We call it face value of money. Face value of money. So this is it. You take any note, 1,000 rupees note, always it is 1,000 rupees. 5,000 rupees note, always it is 5,000 rupees. So it is, we call it face value of money. With this 100 rupees now we can purchase the bread, say a pound of bread is say 70 rupees. Then you can buy about 1.5 pound. Bread you buy 1.5 pound of bread you can buy now. Now, last year it was around 60 rupees a pound of bread. So last year you would have purchased about 1.75 pounds of bread. In 2019, or maybe before that, it was around 50 rupees a pound of bread. So you would have bought 2 pounds of bread. 2 pounds of bread. So now you can buy only 1.5 pounds of bread. Maybe 2022, the price of bread may go up. So you may be able to buy about 1.25 pounds. Maybe in 2023, you can buy only 1 pound of bread. What is happening? This is 400 rupees. 400 rupees, you can buy 1.5 pound of bread now. Last year, it was around 1.75 pound of bread. Before that, it was 2 pounds of bread. Maybe next year, it may be around 1.25 pounds of bread. And year after next, it may be 1 pound of bread only you can buy with 100 rupees. We call it the purchasing power, purchasing value of 100 rupees. So we call it purchasing value. Purchasing value of money. Or in other words, there is another term, real value of money. Repurchasing value or real value of money. So now we understand what is happening to the real value of money or the purchasing value of money. It is getting diminished over a period of time. The real value of money or the purchasing value of money is getting reduced over a period of time. So now we can say, while the face value of the money remains unchanged. I repeat it. While the face value of money remain unchanged, the purchasing value or the real value of the money is getting diminished over a period of time. This is the definition of time value of money. Once again, while the face value of money remains unchanged, the purchasing value or the real value of the money is getting diminished over a period of time. This is we call the time value of money. So this may be due to the inflation, may be various other economic factors is happening. So this is why. Now next question. Now we have seen the meaning or the definition of time value of money. Now we see why it is important for us. Okay, we are bankers. There are projects. We are making projections, sale projection, various projections we are making. So, then the sale values, various values, money value, we are projecting. So, maybe this year we are projecting certain amount of money, income. It may go on like that. So there are values. But it will happen to the face value only we are maintaining, we are mentioning here. In the projections, the face value we are mentioning. Then what will happen to the real value or the purchasing value that is getting diminished? So we must see for the investment we are making now, whether what we are getting in future, is sufficient enough to cover this investment or more than this investment or less than this investment in real value. So for this purpose, for the project analysis, for the people who do the project analysis, this time value of money is really very important. So as bankers for the various projections, various projects, various businesses, you make projections. Income projections, expenditure projections. So you must see, you have to consider that in view of this time value of money. So that is the second one, why this time value of money is important for us, especially the bankers or the project analysis. Clear? And now, there are another two words we must know. The money what we have today, the value of money what we have today is, we call it as present value of money. So this is present value. Simply we call PV. The value of money what we have today, we call it present value of money. The value of money what we will get in future, we call it future value. FP. So, two new terms we have come across. One is present value of money, the value of money what we have today in our hand, that is present value. Other one is the future value, the value of money we may get in future, that is future value of money. So this new terms. So now we have learned the meaning of time value of money. the meaning of present value of money, the meaning of future value of money. Okay. Now we consider some calculations. Project years. When we put these project years, now we denote as year 0. Year 0 means now. Then year 1, exactly 1 year after today, or 12 months after today. Similarly, year 2, year 3, year 4 goes on like that. Right. Now I am having 1 rupee. So amount 1 rupee. I am investing this money in a fixed deposit with automatic renewal at an interest rate of 12% per annum. So interest rate 12% PA, 12% per annum. I am investing this money. Okay. So year 0, now the value of money is 1 rupee. The present value of money is 1 rupee. Now, in year 1, what will be the value of this money? What will be the value of this money? That is capital 1 rupee plus interest from this capital, that is 0.12. 1 plus 0.12. 12%. 12%, that means for 100 rupees, 12%, 12 rupees. So the 1 rupee 0.12 for 1 year. So the next year we will get 1 plus 0.12. Once again, I am having 1 rupee now. I am investing in fixed deposit with automatic renewal at an interest rate of 12% per annum. So now year 0 it is 1 rupee, and the year 1 the value of the money will be 1 plus 0.12 with the interest. In the year 2, how much it will be? Yes, this is the capital for the year 2. 1 plus 0.12 will be there. 1 plus 0.12 will be there, plus interest on this capital. Plus interest on this capital. That will be 1 plus 0.12 into 0.12. This is the capital portion. This is the interest portion. If you put 400 rupees this much, for this much is how much? If you solve it, you will get this interest. You will get this interest. If you put interest rate 12%, so 100 rupees 12%. So this much how much? When you sort it out, when you calculate, finally you will get this. Okay. Now we simplify this fraction. We simplify this. If there is 1, just before this 1, it won't make any change. 1 plus 0.12 into 1 is same. It won't make any change. Okay, now there is a common factor 1 plus 0.12 here, 1 plus 0.12 here, you take it out. 1 plus 0.12, the common factor, you take it out. When you take it out, here the 1 remains, plus we have taken this one, 0.12 remains. Equal. So this will be equal to 1 plus 0.12 to the power 2. This is in the year 2. Anything? Right. In the year 3, this is going to be the capital. This is going to be the capital because automatic renewal, interest will add on to the capital. Interest will add on to the capital. Automatic renewal. So 1 plus 0.12 to the power 2 plus interest on this capital, that is 1 plus 0.12. Here 3. Simplify this. Common factor 1 plus 0.12. Sorry. Plus interest on this capital 1 plus 0.12 to the power 2 into 1 plus 0.12. This is the capital portion. This is the interest on this capital. Interest portion. This is the capital portion plus interest will add on to the capital. This is the interest on this capital. Now we simplify. Common factor 1 plus 0.12 to the power 2 is the common factor. When you take it out, so when you take it out, there will be 1. If you put 1, it won't make any change. So it's so 1 plus, when you take it out, this is 1 plus 0.12 to the power into the interest portion, 0.12. So when you take this out, 0.12. So when you simplify this, 1 plus 0.12 to the power 3. Once again, I will repeat this. Here 3, this is going to be the capital. This is going to be the capital, 1 plus 0.12 to the power 2 plus interest from this capital. So interest rate is 12%, so it is 0.12. So 1 plus 0.12 to the power 2 into 0.12. If you use 400 rupees this much, for this much, how much? When you simplify, you will get this is the interest. You will get this as the interest. Now the common factor 1 plus 0.12 to the power 2. You are taking out. Here the 1 remains, and then here you are taking out 0.12. So when you simplify further, it will be 1 plus 0.12 to the power 3. So in the 4th year, again 1 plus 0.12 to the power 3 is the capital plus interest on this capital 1 plus 0.12 into 0.12. Sorry, this is 1 plus 0.12 to the power 3 into 0.12. Again, common factor, take out 1 plus 0.12 to the power 3. Here the 1 will remain. 1 plus, you have taken this out, 0.12 remains. This will be 1 plus 0.12 to the power 4 times. So, in the year 01, in the year 1, it will be 1 plus 0.12 to the power 2. Sorry. In the year 1, 1 plus 0.12, the value of money. In the year 2, it will be 1 plus 0.12 to the power 2. In the year 3, it will be 1 plus 0.12 to the power 3. In the 4th year, 1 plus 0.12 to the power 4. If it is an nth year, then 1 plus 0.12 to the power n number of years. This is the present value of money what we have. This is the future value in the first year. Sorry. This is the future value in the first year. This is the future value in the second year. This is the future value in the third year. This is the future value in the 4th year. This is the future value in the nth year. So, if we develop a common formula, what we can say, future value is equal to 1 plus 0.12 to the power n. In the nth year, future values is equal to 1 plus 0.12 to the power n. So if the present value is PV, then we can develop this further. Future value is equal to PV multiplied by PV. If it is 100 rupees, multiply by 100 rupees. If it is 1000 rupees, multiply by 1000 rupees. PV plus 1 plus 0.12 is the interest rate. So R to the power n. This is a common formula for this function. So future value in the nth year is equal to present value into 1 plus r to the power n, where PV is the present value of the money, r is the rate of interest in decimal. Rate of interest in decimal, and n is the number of years. So this technique, why we are using this one? To convert present value to the future value. This technique we are using to convert present value to future value. If you know the present value of money what you have today, and if you know the interest rate, and if you know the number of years, then you can calculate the future value. So this technique, this is a technique, is called as compounding. Compounding. This technique is called as compounding. So what is compounding? Compounding is a technique converting present value to the future value. Compounding is a technique converting present value of the money to future value. This is compounding. So this technique is compounding. We have developed this formula based on very basic mathematics. Very basic mathematics. We have developed this. Compounding technique. Okay. I will erase this now. Future value is equal to present value into 1 plus r to the power n. This is the compounding formula. So this compounding formula, when you use this compounding formula, the future values will varies. All the PVs, for different PVs, it varies. For different interest rate, it varies. For different period, yes, it varies. Obviously. So when PV is changing, it varies. When R is changing, it varies. Or N is changing, that is future values varies. Now, if the FE is equal to, if the PV is 1 rupee, if the PV is 1 rupee, then 1 plus R to the power N. So now the PV is 1 rupee. So it won't change if we assume if the PV is 1 rupee, then for different R, it will change. For different N, it will change. Then we will call this FE future value. There's a special name for that one. When the PV is 1, the FE is called as compounding factor. The compounding factor is the future value of money when the present value of money is 1 rupee. If the present value of money is 1 rupee, for various interest rates and various years, the FE will change. That is, the compounding factor will change. So you will have many compounding factors depending on the interest rates and depending on the periods. Compounding factor. So based on that one, there is compounding table. There is compounding table with logarithm, log table, sine table, tan table, cosine tables. The people who have done compound mathematics, in those days advanced mathematics, they know these things. There are various tables. For logarithms table, sine table, cosine table, tan tables. So similarly, the compounding table. So in the compounding table, various future values, that is compounding factors, various future values, that is compounding factors for different interest rate, for different periods are given. So if you want to know the compounding factor for a particular period or a particular interest rate, when you refer that one compounding table, you can look at. So compounding table. Right. Okay. Now, This is a compounding formula. This is Fe is compounding factor. Now, without using the compounding table, also you can calculate the compounding factor. And calculate the compounding factor. Before that, ordinary calculators, even scientific calculators also you can use easily. This is ordinary calculator. So now I am pressing 2 into 5. Sorry. I am pressing 2 into 5. Equal sign, I am getting 10. Again equal sign, I am getting 20. What has happened? Automatically, what I have input first is multiplying. The result is getting multiplied by the digit what I have input first. Again press 40. Equal sign 40. Again press equal sign 80. What is happened? Again and again and again, the first digit what I have input is multiplying the result. A simple thing in this calculator. Okay, how can we use this in calculating this compounding, the future values, present values, without using the compounding table? How can we use it? Right, now PV is equal to 5,000 rupees. That is the money I have now, PV. Present value of money I have now, 5,000. I am investing in a fixed deposit with automatic renewal at an interest rate of, say, 14% for a period of N, for a period of 5 years. For a period of 5 years. So first, by using the compounding table also you can calculate it. By using this calculator, how can you calculate this? First you have to calculate the, now if you put it in the formula, what is the future value is equal to 5,000 into 1 plus R is equal to, it is 14%. So in the digit, in the decimal, it is 0.14 to the power n is 5. The power n is 5. So first you calculate the compounding factor, that is 1 plus 0.14 to the power 5. You calculate. And then multiply by the PV, present value. You get the future value. So this is first you calculate. So what you can do, you can take the compounding table, look at for 14% interest for 5 years, what is the compounding factor? So this is, if it is PV is 1, then 1 plus 0.14 to the power 5. So compounding table, take the compounding table, look at what is the interest rate, 14% for period. Yeah, this is. So then 5,000 into compounding factor. Then you will get the result. So this is the compounding factor. I told you this is the compounding factor when PV is 1. So this portion is the compounding factor. So without using the compounding table, how can we? So this is 1 plus 0.14. Input 1.14. So 1 plus 0.14 is equal to 1.14. into 5 times. This is multiplying 5 times. Again into 1.14 equals 5. So now 2 years have gone. Third year, fourth year, fifth year. 1.925. I am taking into 3 decimals. So this will be 5,000 into the compounding factor 1.925. Or if you want to take another decimal, 1.9. So this is the compounding factor. At 14% interest rate for 50 years, this is the compounding factor. Now multiply this 1.9254 into 5,000. Now multiply by 3. 1.9254 into 5,000 is equal to 9,627. So the future value of this present 5,000 at an interest rate of 0.14% at the end of 5th year will be 9,627. So this is compounding. Another example we do. PV, the money I am having now, 6,000 rupees, or interest rate 12.5% for a period of 6 years, or N, for 6 years, automatic renewal. Automatic renewal, we are investing this 6,000 rupees. How much it will be at the end of 6th year? The value, future value of this money. So again, formula, future value is equal to PV 6,000 into 1 plus R, that is 12.5%, that is in decimal, 0.125, bracket close, to the power n, that is 6. Actually, I have told you this portion is the compounding factor. This portion is the compounding factor. This portion. So either by the compounding table you can, or by using this one, ordinary calculator. So now, this is 1 plus 0.125 into 1 plus 0.125 into 1 plus 0.125 for 6 times for the 6th year. So 1 plus 0.125 is 1.125. 1.125 1 year into 1.125 2 years equal sign. I got the answer. Now again equal sign. Now 2 years have gone. 3rd year, 4th year, 5th year, 6th year. So it's equal to 6,000 into the compounding factor for that one, 2.027. Round up 9. 2.0279 is equal to 2.0279 into 6,000. 12,016 7. This is the future value of present 6,000 at an interest rate of 12.5% at the end of 60 years. Even with a simple calculator, you can calculate. This is converting the present value into future value. This is converting the present value into future value. So this is actually your fixed deposit calculation. If a customer comes and asks you, sir, I am having 100,000 rupees. If I put it in a fixed deposit into your bank with automatic renewal, if you have facility maybe for about 5 years, how much I will get at the end of 50 years? So sometimes you would have come in the evening, you would have closed down your system. Nahamatmya systems of closed and then by using this calculator, you can simply calculate and tell them. Even if somebody comes to your home and just while discussing how much I will get if I put this much at the end of this year, you can simply calculate and tell him by using this ordinary calculator. But only thing, you must understand the meaning of this. So this is compounding. Okay, right. So now this is converting present value to the future value. Now, converting present value to future value is compounding. Now, other way, converting future value into present value. This is important for project analysis. This is important for project analysis. Converting future values to the present value. Now from this formula, you can develop another formula to convert, to find out present value from the future value. So make PV as a capital. PV is equal to FE divided by 1 plus R to the power n. So this you can write like this also. PV is equal to FE into 1 divided by 1 plus R to the power n. PV is sorry, there is 1 already there. So if you are putting FE into 1. So this is the formula to calculate PV from the FE. Calculate the present value from the future value. Calculating the present value from the future value. Now, what may be this portion? If the FE is 1, okay, now I put it like this way. This is the formula. So PV is equal to FE. If the FE is 1 rupee, the future value is 1 into 1 divided by 1 plus R to the power n. Now, what is PV? When the future value is 1, when the future value is 1 rupee, and for different interest rate, for different number of years, the PV also will change. PV also will change. Now converting the future value into present value is a technique and we call it as discounting. Now two words, compounding and discounting. Compounding is converting present value into future value and discounting converting future value into present value. In compounding, we have learned there is a factor, compounding factor. I explained the meaning of compounding factor and the compounding table. Now here, when the future value is 1 rupee, the present value will change for different interest rate and for different periods. That PV is called as discounting factor. Discounting factor. Here, this portion also discounting factor. When the future value is 1 rupee, the present value will change for different interest rate and different periods. That value of the present value is called as discounting factor. So this is discounting factor. So where the FE is 1. So this is the formula we have developed for discounting. So discounting is the technique of converting future value into present value. So discounting factor. So like compounding factor, there are tables for like compounding tables for compounding factors. There are tables for discounting table for discounting factors. Discounting factors. So discounting table where for different interest rate, for different period, various values are given. Those are discounting factors. So you can use the discounting table and find out the discounting factor and you can do your calculation. But even without using the discounting table also, we can use with a simple calculator. Right. I hope this much you would have understood. Compounding, discounting. Compounding factor, discounting factor. We have done some exercises for converting present value into future value. Now we are going to do some exercises for converting future values into present value. So we have learned discounting factors, discounting table, meaning of discounting, meaning of compounding, meaning of compounding factor. Now, in the exam, there may be theory questions. What do you understand by time value of money? So you have to explain by giving example. I have given you example. Time value of money. Then you have to mention what is PV, what is present value, what is future value of money. So with example, you have to explain. Then what is compounding? What is compounding factor? Theory questions. Then what is discounting? What is discounting factor? Theory questions. I have explained. You have to give. You must show that you understand the meaning of all these things. You understand. You must. Right. I'm waiting this. Really, some past examination questions have been sent to you. You may have with you. There is, I will read some of the questions. What do you understand by the following terms? Time value of money, discounting, then net present value, we will learn it later. There is a one full question. What do you understand by the following regard to financial investment appraisal of projects? Few explanatory sentences for each item would be sufficient. And wherever possible, give examples. Time value of money, present value, future value. Then discounting, discounting rate, discounting factor, discounted cash flow. We will learn now. We will learn now. Like that, theory questions also there. Now, so now the discounting formula. PV is equal to FE into 1 divided by 1 plus R to the power n. Discounting formula. Here, this R is the interest rate we are using to calculate the PV from FE. This is the interest rate we are using. This is discounting. Similarly, compounding, FE is equal to PV into 1 plus R to the power n. This is compounding. This is the interest rate you are using for compounding. That is to convert present value into future value. We are using some interest rate. That is, here we are using. This interest rate is also called as compounding rate. Compounding rate. The interest rate we used in compounding technique while converting present value into future value is called as compounding rate. Similarly, the interest rate we are using in discounting is called as discounting rate. The interest rate we use when convert future value into present value is called as discounting rate. So these discounting rate or compounding rates are really interest rate, what we are using for the technique. What we are using for the technique, the interest rate. Depending on the situation, we may use bank's lending rate, we can use it. For bank deposit rate, we are using. Depending on the situation in discounting, depending on the situation, we can use bank lending rate or bank deposit rate, depending on the situation. We will see. So now you know the compounding rate, meaning of compounding rate, meaning of discounting rate. Right. Yeah. Now you take question number 3. Ask questions. Some questions have been sent to you. From that list, take the question number 3. I am reading it. A company wanted to invest rupees 60 million in plant and machinery required for its new industrial project. The company plans to borrow this money from its bank, and the prevailing lending interest rate is 18% per annum. The lifetime of the plant and machinery has been estimated as 12 years. However, company plans to sell it after 5 years of operation for the value of rupees 24 million. It is estimated that the project will bring a net cash flow of rupees 15 million each year during the first 5 years of operation. Apply discounted cash flow and justify whether the proposed new investment is beneficial to the company. Discounting tables will not be provided. You may use ordinary numerical calculators for this purpose. This is the question. Okay. So let us do this. Then you understand the discounted cash flow, everything. So please watch this one very carefully. As a project analysis, this type of exercises are very important. You must understand. We call it financial investment analysis. This is financial. This one is financial investment analysis. Okay. Now, first of course, you must have a cash flow. You must develop a cash flow. For this type of things, you must develop a cash flow. We call it here. So this cash flow is different from normal other cash flow. Basically same, but the structure will differ. Right. We call it cash flow for investment analysis. And then you must mention which currency you are doing this, whether it is rupees or rupees 100 rupees or thousands or millions. So here they have given it is million. So rupees million. Now here all the values have been given in present value. Right? And the future values, what they will get in future. What they will get in future. Right. So first, project years. Year 0, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, Here 6. Project is. I hope you all have these papers, these questions with you. Okay. In the cash flow, you will have cash inflow, cash outflow, then the net flow, basically. So first of all, we say cash inflow. This is, they say, what is that? Annually, it is estimated that it is estimated, project patangatana, so they do the estimation. It is estimated that the project will bring a net cash flow of rupees 15 million. A net cash flow of rupees 15 million. Here the net cash flow means their income minus expenditure. Cash income minus cash expenditure. So, first one, net cash flow from investment. Net cash flow from investment, here, no, 15 million. 15.0, 15.0, 15.0, 15.0, 15.0, because they are operating till 50 year. They are operating till 50. So net cash flow. So this is inflow now. This is inflow for this our analysis. Now the outflow, that is investment. Investment is the outflow. They are investing. Investment. Outflow. That is now in the year 0. What are the investment? Invest 60 million in the plant and machinery. So plant and machinery. $60 million is the outflow. We put it within the bracket. Is outflow. It's negative. Outflow. The lifetime of the plant and machinery has been estimated as 12 years. However, company plans to sell it after 5 years of operation for a value of rupees 24 million. It is estimated that the project will bring a cash flow, net cash flow of 15 million each year during the first 5 years of operation. Apply, right? So now, this there is another income also, because this machinery, they don't want to continue. After 5 years, they are purchasing this machinery at 60 million. After 5 years, they are going to sell it. They want to sell it. So, sell it for 24 million. They want to sell it for 24 million. So, right. So, we can say sale income from machinery. No, 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 no. Some people take this sale income in the fifth year itself. But they are operating up to 5th year, so they can sell this after the 5th year. That is 5th year December only. They are operating this project till the December of 5th year. So they can sell after. So I generally consider, even the World Bank analysis, they consider in the following year. So 24 million. This is additional income. Is there any other income? No. So this is the one. Cash flow for the investment analysis. Net cash flow from the investment. Yes, we have considered investment outflow, that is plant and machinery, 60 million. Sale income from machinery, 24 million. Now the net cash flow. Here 60 million, here 0, 15 million, 15 million, 15 million, 15 million, 58 million, here 24 million. This is a net cash flow for the investment analysis. When you look at it, they are investing only 60 million. They are investing only 60 million. But they are getting 15, 15, 15, 15, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 into 75 million plus 24, 99 million they are getting. For a period of 6 years, 99 million they are getting. Investing 60 million. So when you are just looking at it, it is very, very attractive. By investing 60 million, they are getting 99 million, very attractive. But these are the future values of money, but they are getting future value. This is the present value. Investment, today's value. So these, they get a 15 million at the end of the first year. Another 15 million at the end of second year. It goes on like this. They are getting, these are the future values. But our definition, time value of money, while the present value of money is remain unchanged, while the face value of the money remain unchanged, the purchasing value or the real value of the money is getting diminished. So this is the present value, these are future values, these future values are not equal to this. So what you have to do to see whether it is worthy, whether it is worthwhile, you must bring all these values to the present value and see. You must bring this value, present value. This is the future value, you must bring it here. This is the future value in the end of third year. Bring it here to the present value. This you have to bring it to your present value. This you have to bring it to your present value. This you have to bring it to your present value. Converting the future values to the present value. And then see, total it up and see whether this present value, this total present value is more than 60 million or less than 60 million. If this total of the present values of these future values converted to present values, if this total present value is more than this 60 million, it is worthy. If it is not more or if it is less, then it is not worthy. That's what we are going to do it. So we are going to do discounting. We are going to discount all these values to the present value. So this is the exercise we are going to do. We are going to discount all these future values to the present values. Okay, so this portion I am raising it to do the calculation. Now, so discount, we want to discount, bring these values. Bring these values to the present value. So now we know the years. So one thing, the interest rate, the discounting rate. What is the discounting rate we are going to use? What is the discounting rate we are going to use? Yes. Here they are going to borrow this one at an interest rate of 18% per annum. So we discount it at 18%. That is the interest they are going to pay. So at that interest rate, we discount it and see. So now the discounting rate in this exercise is 18%. So the steps, you have to write the step very clearly. That I am looking at the exam, your answer script. The steps should be very clear. The cash flow for investment analysis, what is the currency you are using, rupees million or 100,000 or whatever it is, you have to mention. Or just rupees, you have to mention. Then it's fine. So first, of course, you calculate the discounting factor. So if you calculate the discounting factor, we have already seen, then multiply the future value by the discounting factor. PV is equal to FE into 1 divided by 1 plus R to the power N. PV is equal to FE into 1 plus R to the. I told you this is the discounting factor.
The board is not visible.
Yes.
Right side corner, board is not visible.
Sorry, it is not clear to me, please.
Right side board is not visible, sir. That corner. Whiteboard is not visible, sir.
Sorry, little louder, please.
Board is not visible, sir. Right side.
Sorry.
On your right
no.
side, it's not visible to us.
Huh?
Board
When you
is,
go and
cannot
when
see.
you go and write when you go and write in the very right corner of the board, it is not clear, sir.
1 minute, please.
Please write in the middle of the board, sir.
Can you just please can you talk to me on my mobile phone? Can you tell me? Because here, of course, it is not clear to me what you are saying. Miss? Hello?
Sir, can you please write in the middle of the board, sir?
Both are right. Okay, right. Okay. Present value is equal to future value into 1 divided plus 1 plus R to the power N. This I have told you the discounting factor. So if you find out the discounting factor, then multiply the future value of that particular future value by the relevant discounting factor. Multiply the future values by the relevant discounting factor, then you will get the present value. So first you calculate the discounting factor at the discounting rate of 18% per annum for each year. Right. So now the step. Discounting factor at the discounting rate of 18% per annum. First you calculate the discounting factor. So here, so remember this is the formula. Discounting factor 1 divided by 1 plus R, 0.18. Yeah, here to the 1. Sorry, it will go the first year. Here it is 0. Here. In the year 1 divided by 1 plus 0.18 to the power 1. Year 2, 1 divided by 1 plus 0.18 to the power 2. 1 divided by 1 plus 0.18 to the power 3. 1 divided by 1 plus 0.18 to the power 4. 1 divided by 1 plus 0.18 to the power 5. 1 divided by 1 plus 0.18 to the power 6. So this is the discounting factor. Discounting factor formula I told you, PV is equal to FE into 1 divided by 1 plus R to the power n. Yeah, the FE is 1. Then only PV is equal to discounting factor. So this is the discounting factor. So this of course 1 divided by 1 plus 0.18 to the power 0 is really it is 1. This is equal to 1. And apart from that, a 0 means now, so it is 1. 10. So now this is, you can use the calculator. You can use the calculator. One divided by 1 plus 0.18. So 1.18. 1.18 equals 0.84. I am for easy working. I am doing at 2 decimal. In the exams, of course, at least 3 decimal you have to use it. Right. Then again divided by 1 divided by 1 plus 0.18 means 1 divided by 1 plus 0.18 again divided by 1 plus 0.18. So here the equal sign, when you press the equal sign, it is automatically divided. Equal sign. Not point rounding up 72. Again equal sign, rounding up 0.61. Again equal sign, 0.52. Again equal sign, 0.44. Again equal sign, 0.37. So this is your discounting factor. This is your discounting factor at 18% per annum for various years. Your discounting factor at 18% per annum for various years. Discounting factor. So if you are using the discounting table, yes, you will collect. You will collect discounting table maybe around 4 or 5 decimals. So you get. And I must tell you another thing. In some other examinations for this type of problem, they give you the discounting factor. So better use those discounting factor. On your own, you don't try to calculate, and because there may be decimal, there may be different. When the decimals, 1 decimal or 2 decimal more, the results may differ. So in the exams, when they are giving the discounting factor, use those discounting factor. When we are not giving discounting factor or the discounting table, on your own, you calculate. Right. Discounting. So now we have the discounting factor. What you have to do? You must multiply the future values by the respective discounting factor. Then it will give the present value. Now you multiply the future values by the respective discounting factor, you will get the present value. Now everything is present value. Right now.
So excuse.
Sorry?
Excuse, we have divided by 1 plus 1/8, but we have to 1 plus 1/8 into n times, no? You have get the calculation.
Yeah.
1 divided by 1 plus 1/8.
1 plus 1/8, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 plus 1 divided, yeah, 1 divided by 1.18, yes. Okay.
Into second year, it comes.
Wait. 1 divided by 1.18. 0.847. Rounding up, it will be 0.85.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. I will round it.
Okay.
I will say it is 85.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Rounding up, 0.85. Is it okay?
Okay,
Hello,
sir.
my
Thank
dear.
you.
Is it okay?
Yes, okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Right. So now, to calculate the present value, we multiply the relevant future values by the respective discount factors. Right. Now the sentence: PV, present value of the cash flow. Present value of the cash flow. Now we are going to convert this to the present value of the cash flow at 18% PA. So one here it is again. Yeah, now it is 60. Now multiply. 15 into 0.85, 12.75. This is the present value. At the end of year 1, the present value for the future value of year 1. Right. Now, 0.72, 10.8. Now, 0.61, 9.15. Now, 0.52, 7.8, 0.44, 6.6. Now, 24 multiplied by 0.37, 8.88. Now, all are present values. All are converted to present values. All the future values have been multiplied by the respective discounting factor and converted to the present value. Now, all are in the same level. All are in the same level. Now we call this cash flow as discounted cash flow. This cash flow is called discounted cash flow. I don't know. You can see, I think, discounted cash flow. So, meaning of discounted cash flow: when you apply discounting technique and convert a cash flow into by applying discounting technique and convert future values into present value in a cash flow, then that cash flow is called as discounted cash flow. When you apply discounting technique to a cash flow and convert future values in the cash flow to the present value, then that cash flow is called as discounted cash flow. This is the discounted cash flow. Now all are in the same level. So this is the inflow in present value. This is the outflow. So now we see 60 plus, see the total. Now we can see the total. All are at the same level. All are at the same level. So now we can see the total. This is negative, this is positive. 12.75 plus 10.8 plus 9.15 plus 7.8 plus 6.6 plus 8.8. 55.98. 55.98. Total whether it is correct. Once again, I total here 12.75 plus 10.8 plus 9.15 plus 7.8 plus 6.6 plus 8.88. 55.98. What is happening? What is the answer? Minus 4.02. The answer becomes negative. That means the inflow from this investment is less than the outflow in present value. In other words, the inflow in this investment does not cover the outflow, does not cover the investment. In other words, the income in present value is less than the investment. So it is not worthwhile at this borrowing interest rate. But when you do the discounting and calculating, bringing everything to the present value and calculating, it is not worthwhile. This we call it is a present value of the cash flow. We calculated present value of the calculated. When you get the net of the present value, this is net present value. We call it net present value. We call it net present value. NPV of the cash flow at 18% per annum discounting rate. -4 minus. So the NPV is here negative. So in an operation like this, if the NPV is negative, that means the income at present level does not cover the expenditure. The inflow at present level is less than the outflow. So this project is not worthy. So that is the result. So net present, we call it NPV, net present value, the meaning of the net present value.
Sir, small question.
Sorry?
Sir, question, it says the sale of machinery after the 5 years, so we got into the 6th year.
Yeah, correct. Yes. Really, some people, even the University of Colombo and chartered accountant, they consider when there is like that sale value, in the 5th year itself they consider. But in the World Bank project, they consider this type of sale value after that particular year, because till the end of year, they use that machinery because of that one. But one thing, in the exam, if you use either in the 5th year or 6th year, I won't penalize you. I won't penalize you. But the real fact is better to consider in the 6th year, because till the December 31st of the 5th year, you are going to use the machinery. Then only you are going to sell the machinery. Maybe January or February in the 6th year. This argument is, yes, put forward by many students, many people. I understand. Very good. Is it clear?
So the machineries are sold at the first day or first month of the next year. So can't we consider it as 5 years? Now, if they wait till end of 6th year only, we can consider it as 6th
Correct.
year.
Yeah, actually in the first year, sometime the first year, in the 12-month, the investment may come. Sometimes some investment, especially in the agricultural projects or the industrial projects, during the first year, year zero, during the whole period, the investment may come. Because of that, World Bank consider this the sale value of the machineries or whatever it is after use in the following year. But in a simple example like this, yes, no harm, you can consider in the 5th year, because once and for investment, that is bringing the machinery and installing the machinery. Okay.
So here now we are not charging interest for the first year. So whole year we are not considered as a financial year. So if we take the 6th year and if we charge 18%, that is also there's a
there is no percentage or anything. No percentage calculation. No percentage. As it is here, you have to. That's what now even I told you the Colombo campus or the Chartered Accountants Institute, they use in the same year. Maybe it's a simple investment. Yes, it is okay. But in a long-term investment like agricultural projects or big industrial projects, the investment period also go on for years. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Right. So now it is 4.02 minus. So we call it net present value, NPV, of the cash flow at 18% per annum discounting rate. This is. So if this borrowing rate, this project is not worthy, in this borrowing rate, at this borrowing rate, this project. So if the bank considered to reduce, the interest rate, we see whether it is worthy. So from 18%, if the bank agreed to give it at 13%, 5% less. If the bank is giving this one at 13% interest, what will happen? If the bank is willing to give it at 13%, what will happen? Okay, now you do this calculation on your own at 13% interest rate. I am raising this, you see, at 13%. Interest rate.
Sir, for the first year is 1, right?
Sorry. Sorry.
So I got an answer. 4.97, is it correct?
Sorry, 4.97.
97?
4.94.
97.
97. Maybe you have taken in a, what is the decimal points you have taken?
Three decimals.
3.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because that's the thing. When you take more decimal point, the answer will more accurate. It will become more accurate. Here, of course, I have taken only 2 decimal point for the easy way. But in the exam, you have to do minimum 3 decimal points. Okay. In the exam, you have to do with minimum 3 decimal points. Here, of course, for simplification, I took 2. So it comes like that. So now, oh, here, of course, I made the mistake again. Here it is 13%, right? Sorry, 13%. Here, 13%. So PV of the cash flow at 13% discount rate, PV calculated. Now the NPV, this is NPV. NPV, net present value of the discounted cash flow at 13% PA discounting rate. NPV of the discounted cash flow at 13% PA discounting rate. Now it is positive. NPV is positive. Since the NPV is positive, the income flow at present value is more than the investment. So it is worthy. At this interest rate or at this discounting rate, the project is worthy. So now you know the meaning of NPV also, net present value also. So when the NPV is positive, what is the interpretation? When the NPV is negative, what is the interpretation? You should know. NPV is positive, what is the interpretation? When the NPV is negative, what is the interpretation? Earlier, the NPV was negative. That means the investment is more than the inflow at present value. So it is not worthy. At 18% PA. Now, the investment is less than, actually, in other words, the inflow at present value is more than the investment. At 13% discounting rate or the 13% interest rate, so this project is worthy. Okay, now we have a small break. Now the time is 10:22. 10 minutes. Oh, we meet by 10:35. We meet by 10:35. Okay, let us continue now. I hope you would have understood everything up to now. So now at the interest rate of the discounting rate of 13%, it is beneficial to undertake this project because the NPV become positive plus 4.02. When the interest rate was 18%, PA, it was negative 4.02, I think, yeah. Maybe, yeah, 4.02 at 18%. Okay, now I erase this. Now I erase this, what I have written. 13% PA, it is plus 4.02, the NPV. At 18% PA minus 4.02 that we have calculated earlier. So now the NPV may be 0 because this is positive, this is negative. This is positive at 13%. It is negative at 18%. So NPV may be 0. It may be 0 in between 13% and 18%. The interest rate, the NPV may become as 0. How to calculate that? What is that? What is? So now we try to plot a graph. Y-axis, x-axis. Y-axis, x-axis. Here, the NPV. Here it is positive, here NPV negative. This axis, discounting rate. So we calculate the NPV for various interest rates. When you calculate NPV for various interest rates, you will get various NPV values. So you plot in the graph. So when the discounting rate is low, when the discounting rate is low, the NPV will increase. When the discounting rate is higher, when it goes up and up, the NPV will get minus, go on minus. So when you plot the NPV and the discounting rate at various interest rates, here the NPV you may get this, here get this, get this, get this, right? And you join, you may get a graph like this. Here NPV is positive for various discount rates. Here it is negative for higher discount rates. At one point, this graph passes through the discount rate. And where the NPV is 0. Where the NPV is 0. That point, there is a special name for that point. Internal rate of return. Where the NPV is 0. I told you in between 4.02 and plus 4.02 and minus 4.02, the value may be 0, the NPV may become 0 at a particular discount rate. The discount rate may be between 13 and 18%. So when you calculate NPV based on various discount rates and plot a graph, the graph will pass through the x-axis. X-axis. You plotting the NPV in the y-axis and the discounting rate in the x-axis. So you will get the graph passes through the x-axis at a particular point where the NPV is 0. So that means the project you are undertaking is neither positive or negative. It is a break-even point. It is a break-even point. That break-even point is called as internal rate of return. Internal rate of return is the where the NPV is 0 and the discount rate that is called as the internal rate of return. So internal rate of return is the discount rate. The meaning of internal rate of return is it is the discount rate where the NPV is 0. The internal rate of return is the discount rate where the NPV is 0. It is neither positive nor negative. If anybody is undertaking the project, if they can borrow, the borrowing interest rate is less than the less than the discount rate. If it is less than the discounting rate, if it is less than the internal rate of return, then it is beneficial. If the borrowing rate, the discounting rate is more than the internal rate of return, it is not beneficial. Once again, I repeat it. When somebody is undertaking a project, if their borrowing rate, which is going to be the discounting rate, if it is less than the internal rate of return, if it is less than the internal rate of return, then the project is beneficial. If the borrowing rate or the discounting rate is more than the internal rate of return, the project is not beneficial. So when you calculate the IRR and say if the IRR after calculating, if the borrowing rate is less than the IRR, the project is beneficial. If the borrowing rate is more than the IRR, the project is not beneficial. So this is IRR, internal rate of return. It is a break-even point for the borrowers, for the projects, where if the borrowing rate is less than the IRR, the project is beneficial, and if the borrowing rate is more than the IRR, the project is not beneficial. This is the IRR. So now by plotting the graph, where you have to do about 5 or 6 trial these calculations, plot the graph, and where the graph passing through the x-axis, that point is called as internal rate of return. You find out. This is the graphical method. Internal rate of return. And there is a formula to calculate the internal rate of return also. We see, what is it? IRR is equal to lowest discount rate plus difference between lowest and highest discounts rates. In this example 5, 2 discount rates, we have done the calculation. One is at 13, another one is 18. Lowest discount rate is 13, and the highest discount rate is 18. The difference between the 2 discount rates, the lowest and the highest, that is 5 in this example. Into NPV at the NPV of the discounted cash flow at lowest discount rate divided by sum of the NPVs of the discounted cash flow at two different discount rates. Now, okay, other things we will explain now. Sum of the NPVs of the discounted cash flows at two different discount rates. So now we are doing the NPVs at two different discount rates. We are doing the calculation. So sum is total. So in this one is 13%, 4.02. Other one is 18%, minus 4.2. Sum total. What will you get? When you total it up, what will you get? You will get 0. When you get, if you total it up, you will get 0. So here if the value is 0, what will happen? This will be infinity. Any number is divided by 0, you will get infinity. So because of that one, here an important thing, ignore the signs. Ignore the signs. Signs, ignore Karladanda. Don't consider the sign. So in this one, when you total it up, ignore the sign, you will get 8.04. Ignore the sign. Right. I hope the reason why we are ignoring sign, if you don't ignore the sign, you may sometime end up with 0. Because one is positive, other one is negative. When you total it up, so now IRR is equal to lowest discount rate. What is lowest discount rate? 13 plus difference between lowest and the highest discounting rate, 13 and 18, that is 5, into NPV of the discounted cash flow at the lowest discount rate, that is 13, sorry, NPV 4.02, then divided by sum of the NPVs of the discounted cash flow at two different discount rates. Ignore the signs. So 8.04. Note 4. 8.04. Now, simple mathematics, when you will do within the bracket, then you will do the multiplication, then you will do the division, then you will only you do the addition and the subtraction. So here, first you do this one. So 13 plus 5 into 4.02 divided by 1, this one, that is 4.02 divided by 4.02, 8.04, 8.04, you will get half, that is 0.5. So this is 0.5, half. Now this is equal to 13 plus 5 into 0.5, 2.5. So that is equal to 15.5. So IRR in this example is 15.5. That means if they borrow the funds at more than the 15.5 interest rate, then the project is not worthy. If they can borrow below this 15.5 interest rate, then the project is worthy. That is the meaning of internal rate of return. It is a break-even point for borrowing. It is the break-even point for borrowing. So this is the formula. IRR is equal to lowest discount rate plus difference between the lowest and the highest discounting rate into NPV at the NPV of the discounted cash flow at the lowest discount rate, then sum in total of the NPVs of the discounted cash flow at two different discount rates. There, of course, you ignore the signs and total. If you don't ignore, if you total with the sign, then it is a problem. So this is cash flow investment analysis. This is, yes, internal rate of return. Hope it will be clear to you all. In the exam, you will get, definitely you will get a question, maybe a theory question or a calculation problem like this. Okay, another exercise we do. Now, again, question number 4. Question number 4. I have already read anyway. What you understand by the following in regard to financial investment appraisal? So this is financial investment appraisal or analysis of projects. Few explanatory sentences for each item would be sufficient. And wherever possible, give example to show that you understand. You have to show us you understand the concept of time value of money and the related items. Time value of money, present value, and future value, 4 marks. Discounting, discounting rate, discounting factor, discounted cash flow, 4 marks. Net present value of projected cash flow and its interpretation. Is important? Yes, we have done, 4 marks. Internal rate of return of projected cash flow and its interpretation, 4 marks. We have done it. And finally, calculating IRR using Excel computer application. I'll come to that one. I will come to that one. So theory also, India theory, we have done. Now, question number 5. Do on your own. Question number 5. ABC Plastic Company Limited has planned to install 2 numbers blow molding machines to increase its production capacity of plastic items at a cost of 8 million. The cost of installation and other expenses will be 500,000. Investment on working capital for this venture will be 3.5 million. The company plans to produce 150,000 units of plastic items annually from both machines, and it is estimated that each unit will contribute a net cash flow of rupees 25. That is 25 net cash flow. Each item will contribute a net cash flow of 25 rupees. That means the income, sale value minus all the cash items, expenses. Income minus expenses. Right. 25. The economic production life of both machines is 5 years, and the machine will have a residual value of rupees 1 million after this period. The company is planning to meet the entire investment cost through a bank borrowing at an interest rate of 14% PA. Based on the concept of time value of money, carry out an analysis and confirm whether this investment is acceptable or not. Give your reason. So here also bank borrowing at an interest rate of 14%. Sometimes the company may withdraw their deposits, fixed deposits, and use for this investment. So in that case, they forego the interest income. So that you must consider as a discount. For the discounting, if the companies are using their own deposit, withdraw and use, then you have to use what they have, the interest they got for their fixed deposit, that as the discounting rate. So depending on the situation, whether they are using their own money by withdrawing the deposits or they are borrowing. If they are borrowing, use the bank's lending interest rate. If they are withdrawing, their deposit rate, depending on the situation. Right, do this. We are doing a break also. All right. The break cleaner, then start. Sorry? Right. Okay. Okay. Huh? अच्छा. Well, now cash flow for investment analysis, you must mention in what denomination, what currency you are doing this calculation. And the projects here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right. Net flow from the operation, that is, they are producing 150,000 units. Each has a net cash flow bringing 25 rupees. So multiply that 150 units by 25 rupees. So that is 3.75 million is the net cash flow from the operation. That is income minus all cash expenses throughout. Then cash outflow, that is going to be the investment, but machinery 8 million. Okay. Then installation, you have to install the expenses, other things, maybe training the people, all those things may be there. That is 0.5 million. So all these things may take some time, about 4 or 5 months it may take.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Sorry?
Sir, why we collect that working capital recovery in 6th year?
Sorry, little louder, please.
Why we?
Sorry,
why
repeat.
we-
What's it?
Why we collect that working capital recovery in 6th year? Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, you have at that 3.5 million in 6th year as a working capital recovery.
That is, you mean the working capital?
Working capital recovery, yeah.
You are referring to the working capital?
Yes, sir.
Are you referring to the working capital?
Yes, sir. Working capital.
Okay, I'll come, yes. Right. So now, installation charges 0.5 million. That is, yeah, that's also investment. That's also investment, but you won't recover it. That is investment. Machinery 8 million. Now the working capital. The meaning of working capital also a permanent investment for the business. There may be sometimes the seasonal working capital that is temporary. Maybe April out the season, people want to keep get their stocks for their businesses. Yeah, or December Christmas sales. Those are the seasonal. Apart from that, for a project or a business, they must have a permanent working capital. One is fixed capital on land, building, machinery, vehicles, and other fixed assets. That is the fixed capital. Other one is the working capital. That is stocks, various types of stocks, then work in process, finished goods, sometimes credit sales. So that should be fixed. That will be rotating. That is the working capital. Operational capital, that is rotating within the business. Working capital. Here in this one, they have calculated to purchase the raw material, to maintain the raw material stocks. Then while doing the processing, there will be work in process. Then there will be, after producing, they have to keep some finished good stock and they must sell all those things. For that one, they keep 3.5 million. Now, when they stop, when they close the business, this working capital will be there because it won't go, it is turning. When you sell the goods, get the cash, again you are buying the raw material. So it is going on. This is working capital. So when you are closing down the business, that working capital will be there as stock. So, or maybe the credit sales, whatever you have sold on credit, you have to recover, or then you have to convert that one into cash. So that also will be recovered 3.5 million. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. So the working capital also an investment. It is revolving within the business. Once they are closing the business, they will recover that amount. So that also will come after 5th year. And then residual value of the machinery, yeah, 1 million. After the 5th year, they will get. So now, cash net flow, that is inflow minus outflow, year 0, 12 million, that is the whole investment, then 3.75, 3.75, 3.75, 3.75, then finally 4.5. That is the residual value of the machinery plus the working capital recovery. That is working capital. Working capital is an investment. There are two types of investment in the business. One is the fixed investment, fixed capital investment, land, building, machinery, vehicles, all those things. Another one is the working capital. Current assets. Which are the current assets? Raw material stock, work in process stock, finished goods stock, credit sales, all those things. Current assets. Right. So now, see the steps. Cash net flow, we have mentioned. Then what you have to do, you have to calculate the discount factor of the cash flow at 14% per annum. Calculated. By using the calculator, we have calculated discount factor. Then what you have to do is, now all these future values, you must bring it to the present value by multiplying the discount factor, the respective future values. So PV of the discounted cash flow, year 0 it is same 1, that is 12. Then we have converted, brought to present value. Now all are in the same level, present value. You can add, subtract, because all are present value level. Say, when you calculate minus 12 million plus the inflow 14.92, so bringing positive NPV. So in this example, the income at the present value level cover the expenditure, investment. So the NPV is positive. So this project at this borrowing interest rate is feasible, attractive, can be done. So this is the part. So here the working capital you must understand, because of that one only I have introduced this one. Working capital. So you must understand the working capital concept very clearly. Okay, now shall we calculate the IRR for this one? So now the borrowing rate is 14%. 14. So to calculate the IRR, what you have to do? You have to increase the discount rate or reduce the discount rate. Please, someone answer. Now we are going to calculate the discount IRR on this one. To calculate the IRR, what we had to do? Whether
We have to increase it.
Sorry?
You have to increase.
Increase. Very good. Yeah, very good. Yes, you have to increase. 14%. Calculate at 19% and see. Calculate at 19% and see. 5% difference. 14%, 5, 19%. Calculate at 19%. At 19%. So even at 19% borrowing also, this project is beneficial. If we borrow at even 19%, this project is beneficial. So again 5% increase. 19.5, so 24%, calculated 24%. Here at 19%, 1.02. At 19%, NPV 1.02. Another 5% increase, 24%. How much? Now only it is negative. NPV is now only negative. 0.45. Now only it is negative, the NPV. So we call it trial and error method. Those days when we were doing this project analysis, sometimes 4 or 5 times we have to increase or decrease the discounting rate and again doing the calculation. We were doing like that. Those days no computers, only With these calculators, we were doing. With these calculators, 4 or 5 times, we increase, decrease to see where the NPVs, where the IRR. What is the IRR to calculate? You call it trial and error. Now the computer is there. You don't need to do all these calculations. It is simply you can get the IRR, NPV, everything from the computer. I will explain that one. Yeah. Okay. So now calculate the IRR. I am going to erase it. I hope you all have done. I hope you all have done. If there is any question, please ask me. Okay, now I'm going to erase this. At 19%, the NPV is 1.02. At 24%, it is negative 0.45. Here it is positive, here negative.
Again.
Okay. So IRR is equal to lowest discount rate, that is 19%. Here it is for 19%. The difference between two discount rate 5 into bracket NPV at the lowest discount rate 1.02 divided by sum of the NPVs of both discount rates, signs ignored. So it will be 1.02 plus 0.45, 1.47. 1.47. So this is equal to 19 plus 5 into, first you do within the bracket, 1.02 divided by 1.47. 0.69. Not 0.69369. So again 19 plus then the multiplication 0.69 into 5 equal 3.45 equal 19 plus 3.45 plus 19 22.45%. So the break-even point for the IRR is 22.45. If they borrow anything less than this 22.45, it is good. It is beneficial. The project is beneficial. If they borrow more than 22.45% interest, then it is not beneficial. This is the interpretation. So this is cash flow for investment analysis. Yes. Right. Now, I am raising this. Using the computer. For the computer, actually, you must have the cash flow. Net cash flow you must get. Net cash flow. That is inflow, cash inflow, and then cash outflow, that is investment. Then the difference. That is a net cash flow you must have. You must develop the net cash flow. So year 1, year 0, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, and so on. Right. The year 0, the investment will be negative. Year 0, the investment negative. Then these are the positive figures. You will get the cash flow. What we have done today, before discounting, you develop the cash flow for the investment analysis. Inflow and then investment that is outflow. From there, you get the net flow. So this is. You have to develop this one. This cash flow you have to develop from the projections. What the project you are going to do, there will be projection and everything. So you must have the cash flow for investment analysis. Now this is actually year 0 it will be 0. Sorry, year 0 it will be negative because the investment. Purchasing, putting up the building, purchasing the machineries, working capital, installation of machineries. So yes, it will be. Then in the computer, Excel spreadsheet. You all would have seen the Excel spreadsheet. It is like that spreadsheet. Spreadsheet is like that. Excel spreadsheet. Bring the cursor to one point. You bring the cursor and put the equal sign. And then type NPV. And then type the NPV. Put the bracket. Then the computer will prompt you. Computer will tell you what to do. Computer will tell you range. Bring the range. Yeah, range is, this is the range. This is the range. So this, we go further. Yeah, this is the range. So you take the cursor here. You take the cursor. After putting the bracket, here the computer will prompt. Say range. So take it. Here. And anchor it, and highlight. Anchor it and highlight. This is the range. This is the cash flow for investment analysis. So this is the cash flow. So this is the range. The range. Put a comma. Put a comma. And then computer will tell you what is the discount rate, what is the interest rate or discount rate. So you put the discount rate in decimal. Discount rate or the interest rate which you are going to use in decimal. Put discount rate. Bracket close. And then enter. You will get the NPV. You don't need to do all these calculations and other things. You will get the NPV. This is by using the computer calculating the NPV. Actually, the Excel spreadsheet, different versions. There are different versions. Every year they are changing, no? So they are, this is there, but sometimes the order may change. The order may change. But this is one of the Excel one of the one. This is the one. So maybe some other, when they change, this may change. But basically this is there. NPV. The computer will prompt range. You give the range and then give the discount rate. What rate you are going to discount? 13% or 14%. Put it in decimal. So you will get. Then, if it is IR, if it is IRR. Bring the cursor to the cell in the Excel spreadsheet, type IRR. Then the computer will prompt, give the range. So take the cursor there, anchor it, highlight it, put the comma. Then computer asks you suggest a rate just for you to suggest. So you say anything, some rate you say anything, even 10%, 20%, 50%, or whatever it is, but in decimal. But in decimal, you give a suggest a range. Suggest a range. So you give me 12% or 13%, and then anchor it. Sorry, and then enter, and then enter it. Here you will get the answer. IRR. So only thing, the basic thing, the cash flow, you have to develop the cash flow for the investment analysis, and then the calculation you don't need to do using the computer by this way. You can calculate. You can find out what is a IRR or what is a NPV based on that one. You can. Right. But different versions, sometimes there may be slight differences. Excel different versions, sometimes there may be slight differences. Okay. Now question number 2. Question number 2. Read the question first. I will read it. You also please read it. Briefly explain the meaning of following: time value of money, yes. Net present value, yes. ABC International Limited is an engineering company and has decided to install a new plant at its Colombo factory to manufacture engineering tools for marketing in Sri Lanka. The cost of the plant and the machinery will be rupees 50 million. Okay, yes. So that is outflow, investment outflow. The cost of installation, training of workers, test running and other expenses will be rupees 3 million. That's also outflow investment. It will take a period of 4 months. It will take a period of 4 months. Investment on working capital for this venture will be rupees 12 million. Now you understand the meaning of working capital. It is also permanent investment. When you close down, you can recover that working capital because it is revolving within the business. It is revolving. Then the company projects its net cash flow from the operation, as follows. During first year, 14 million. During second year of operation, 16 million. During third year of operation, 17 million. Thereafter, rupees 18 million annually. So this is cash inflow. So outflow, you know, inflow, you know. Then the net flow you will calculate. You can calculate. The economic production life of the plant will be 6 years. And it will have a residual value of 10 million after this period. So residual value of the plant and machinery is 10 million. That will come in the 7th year. Because up to 6th year end, the machinery will work and produce. The company is planning to meet this entire investment cost through a bank borrowing at an interest rate of 17.5% per annum. Based on the concept of time value of money, carry out an analysis and confirm whether this investment is beneficial to the company or not. Give your reasons. How do you calculate internal rate of return of cash flow? By using Excel spreadsheet. So everything you can do. Everything we have learned. So only small difference. There is a only small difference. What is the difference? Here the period is given. What is it? The cost of the installation, training of workers, test running, and other expenses will be rupees 3 million. And it will take a period of 4 months. Right. That part only I am explaining. All other things we have done, you all you should have understood. It goes on like that. One basic thing, when you do this investment analysis, financial investment analysis, the periods all should be equal. If you are taking years, everything should be years. If you are taking months, everything should be months. If you are taking day, everything should be day. So here the year fund, year 0, it is mentioned the installation and other thing will go for 4 months. So if it is 4 months, what you can do, if we are using the computer, then it is easy. Everything should be for 4 months. You must all these things completely for 4 months. But when you are doing manually, it is difficult. You can't do it. So year 0, we consider it as 4 months. Year 0 is 4 months. So here the year 0 means from 1 to 12 months. 1 to 12 months will accommodate. Year 0, 1 to 12. Then year 1, 12 months. Year 2, 12 months. Year 3, 12 months. Year 4, 12 months. You can go on. Only the year 0 only. You should not get upset, confused. As we have told, the investment will take 4 months. So this year 0 is 4 months. You restrict this year 0 to the 4 months. And then all other calculation, year 1, year 2, for 12 months period, year 1, year 2, or year. Some people what they have done is year 4 months, then in the year balance 8 months, they have taken 8 months and then 12 months. No, that is wrong. Now, because the period should be same. Even in the lease calculation also based on IRR. Every month, lease calculation formula, if you look at it, it is every month, month by month, month by month. So in the computer, it is easy, month by month. What do you think? For NDA period, you have to input. For NDA period, it is 6 years. 6 into 12 months, 72 months. So 72 inputs you put and then calculate the IRR. But where calculate the IRR by using the computer, the interest rate you are applying should be monthly interest rate. Here we are applying annual interest rate. So when the period, you can take period. Maybe you can take month by month, month by month, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 6 months, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. So depending on that, interest rate will be, based on is it 3 monthly interest rate or 3 months the interest rate. You have to, that of course you have to do it. Okay, right. So here you should not get upset. You should not get confused. This 4 months coming year 0. If it is 8 months, if you have mentioned 8 months, yeah, it is year 0. If we have mentioned 9 months, yeah, it is year 0. Let's stick to this year 0. And then when the income comes, let's start from year 1. Annual basis. Okay, right. Okay, thank you very much. So this is the time value of money. I hope you all will you would have understood this. If you have any questions or anything, if you have any doubts, you can contact me. Maybe you can get my phone number from Menagar, or sometimes you may have my phone number. You can contact me. Right. So don't ask me to explain the full lecture again. Sometime back, some student asked me. He didn't come for the class. Can you explain me this time value of money and all those things over the telephone? Anyway, don't ask me like that. If you have any doubt, yeah, okay, you can. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So small doubt, sir.
Sir, please explain the computerized equation.
Sorry?
Can you explain again computerized equation?
Computer?
Equation, IRR.
Yes.
Can you explain again?
You want me to explain?
Yeah.
Computer.
IRR.
NPV
Computer.
and IRR.
IRR, sir.
IRR.
How can take the IRR?
Okay. I will explain. IRR. Project years 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. So you have to develop the cash flow. For the financial analysis, cash flow you have to develop. So year 1 it will be negative. Investment will year 1. Sorry. Year 0. Year 0 it will be negative. Project year 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here negative. Then these are income coming, so positive. Sometimes negative, sometimes maybe negative also may be there, but let us consider positive. Now Excel sheet, there are cells. Take the cursor to a cell, put the equal sign, then IRR, and then put the bracket. Then the computer will prompt you, give the range. Computer will ask you to give the range. So what is the range? This is the range. This is the cash flow. This is the cash flow which you are going to find out the IRR for this cash flow. So you take the cursor to this point, then anchor it. So that is finished. Then you can highlight it. You can highlight the range. So this is the range. Computer will ask you to give the range. Put the comma. After highlighting, put a comma, cursor will come here. Then computer will tell you, suggest. Nikan sandhan karanda. Just tell some rate. Some rate. You mention anything. some rate, anything, any rate, some interest rate, anything you mention in decimal. It may be not relevant. Okay, so some interest rate, maybe 10%, so 0.1, maybe 25%, 0.25, maybe 35%, 0.35, maybe 5%, 0.05. You just mention some rate. Suggest a rate and bracket close. You give some rate and enter. The IRR will come here. It will come here. So now you go home, you have a computer, you just put 0, 1, 2, put the project here. Year 0, mention some, maybe 5 million rupees, negative, within bracket, negative. Then 1 million, 1.5 million, 2 million, or 0.5 million, put. Then in the cursor, say IRR, equal sign IRR. Computer will prompt you. Computer will tell you what and what things to put. So arrange. You take it, highlight it, put the comma, will come. Then you give any range, say about 5% or 10%. But you have to give it in decimal. Close the bracket and enter, you will get the IR. So people may sometimes they may get confused because it says suggest a rate. Yeah, some rate. For the completion of that formula, they need some figure. For the completion of the program, that formula, they need some figure. You give some figure, the decimal. So you will get the IRR.
So the question the question we discussed last question we discussed.
Yes.
What is the impact to the cash flow now? Since this particular project takes 4 months to install machineries and training and other things, so what is the impact towards the cash flow?
Please repeat it. Repeat your question, please.
So the last question we discussed.
Yeah, last question. Okay.
Yeah, it takes 4 months to install machineries and for training purposes, right?
Yeah, correct. Yes.
So what is the impact towards the cash flow in the first 0, I mean the year 0, what is the impact towards that? How do we calculate? Is there any impact on that?
No, actually we are doing manually. When we are doing manually, we can go, actually this is the way but in the computer, what you can do is you can divide by 4 months, 4 months, 4 months. And there will be a different IRR. You will get a different IRR when you are doing with the computer.
So,
the answer may be little, there may be slight difference.
So can you explain in the system that now you have already given the answer there? Can you explain it giving the example, I mean giving the answer on the board, how to calculate for this last question?
Yeah, we can do the calculation. We do the calculation, okay. Net flow from operation. Here 14 million. Here all these things you have to say rupees million, 14 million, then 16 million, then 17 million, thereafter 18 million annually. $18 million. Then outflow. Machinery. Outflow, that is investment. investment, machinery, 50 million. Right. Installation, training of workers and everything, installation, etc. 3 million. Working capital, $12 million. Okay, now, no, sorry. Sorry. Residual value of machinery, 10 million. Working capital recovery, $12 million. Net cash flow, $65 million. We are all within bracket. Here 14 million, 14.0, 16.0, 17.0, 18.0, 18.0, 18.0, 22.0. So now, here we consider this as the one whole year. So there won't be any this one. Now again, now this net cash flow, then the discount factor. Discount factor at what rate they are borrowing? 17.5%. 17.5%. PA. Right. So here one. One divided by 1.175. 0.85. Zero 0.72, 0.62, 0.52, 0.45, 0.38, 0.32. Right. So now you will multiply this. So PV at 17.5% cash transaction, now 65 million. 1 multiplied by this. Here 14 into 0.85, 11.9. Then 16 into 0.72, 11.52. Then 17 into 0.62, 10.54. Then 18 into 0.52, 9.36. Then 0.45, 8.1, 0.38, 6.84, then 22 into 0.32, 7.04. Now, NPV is equal to 65.0, then 11.9 plus 11.52 plus 10.54 plus 9.36 plus 8.1 plus 6.84 plus 7.04. 65.3. So this is equal to plus 0.3. The NPV. Okay? This is when you do this calculation manually. So when you do this with the computer, you can do it for every 4 months. You must develop this cash flow for every 4 months basis. But you must know the breakdown of these. The 16, they equally coming through the year. So you need all those information. But when you are doing manually, this is the whole year. You consider this as the whole year. These 4 months as the whole year. And then all other things are, because when you do this calculation, the period should be equal. The period should be year 0 and all the period will be equal. You must consider it is 12-month period, year 0. That's right.
So when we are calculating it manually, aren't we calculate this only for the 8 months in the first year?
No, that is wrong. And නිසා තමයි මම මේක කිව්වේ. අන්න ඒක වැරදි. Some students have done that one. That is really wrong. Yeah, 4 months and then balance 8 months. No. Basic concept, when you are doing yearly, it should be year.
Sir, can you explain the last, how to answer the last question, how to interpret, I mean, how to mention the range in the Excel sheet?
How do you calculate the internal rate of return of a cash flow by using Excel spread? So this is the range. Yeah, in this one, net cash flow, this is the range. So, now if you are doing simply way, this is the range.
Sir, do we have to insert these figures into the answer, sir?
Sorry? No. You must say how to calculate. You must. What I have explained you. You give that the range. You must say IRR is equal to what is the range? IRR equal IRR. Then bracket, range, comma, suggested rate.
So is it necessary to mention the range also? Otherwise, which range?
Sorry, mention what?
Is it necessary to mention the range also?
Rate? No, you can mention, it's okay. Suggest a rate. Some rate you are suggesting for the IRR. But in the case of NPV, yeah, you must, one particular rate you have to mention. This, of course, when you are actually doing it. But in the answer paper, if you mention suggest a rate, example 0.2. Clear? Hello?
Yes, sir. Now it's clear.
In the answer paper, when you are writing, say suggest a rate. You say, for this question, how do you calculate internal rate of return of a cash flow by? So you don't need to calculate it. How do you calculate internal rate of return of a cash flow by using Excel spreadsheet. So that means what is the method? So you say I equal sign IRR bracket range. The range means range of the cash flow, comma, and suggested rate example 0.2. That's all.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Okay, sir.
Right. Okay, I hope no other questions. I'm closing down. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.